Is this defense immaculate? No. But look at where the defense came from. What we're seeing is these bursts of greatness out of this defense that just shows it intrigues you. It's provocative. It gets the people going. It's so exciting about what this defense can be. They have truly pieces of, and I said this last week, they are on the verge of having elite level players at every level of their defense, and that's the basis for having one of the top defenses in the NFL.
I can't express my level of exasperation and exhaustion with constantly watching the NFL officiating crews week to week around the league just blow it.
You know what I say.
And I don't expect them to be perfect. I don't. They're humans. I get it. I don't expect them to be perfect, right? KD is the one who wants the robotic strike zone, right? I'm not expecting them to be perfect, right? I'm not calling for a robotic strike zone, similar type thing in the NFL. I'm not calling for cyborgs to run.
Oh, but they need to put the chip in the ball.
Right, I'm not
this fucking chain measurement shit.
Yeah, well, you could. Relax, Elder Barge. Take it easy, Elder Barge.
Play the percentage.
Shit. Right on time.
What up, man?
Right on time.
Man, I mean,
look at us being all Caucasian this week.
Look at us.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Not me. Not me.
What's good, my guy?
Hey, man. You know, we're just grinding out man. Two wins in a row.
Listen.
Victory Tuesday.
Listen, it is Victory Tuesday.
Victory Taco Tuesday on top of that.
I got paid a day early. Like that.
We bragging now.
No, I mean, that's like, no, trust me, it's not a brag. It's a shock that it's going to hit the direct deposit before the time as opposed to after the time. Yeah.
So used to them messing up the money. Pleasant surprise. I get it.
The bag beef. Fumbled. Fumble.
It must be trying to stop Hargrave.
We'll get into that in a second, man.
Oh, we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into it. But
look, hey, real quick, what's up with your Braves, man? I haven't checked the standings in a while. I just know that Juan Soto's
all right. So here
on
the
last place team. So tell me about your Braves.
It's funny you say that because started with my Braves apparel today, but I was like, you know what? It's not any fun when because I checked out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've already checked out, and exactly, kicking the dead horse ain't no fun because the horse don't kick back. Right. And, there's plenty of people who enjoy that. Like, okay, they'll beat the horse into oblivion and then they start kicking the dust and all.
But that's only people that don't have wins.
Like, yeah, that's what I mean.
People that do that are people that don't have wins.
I enjoy the spirited debate. But when the other party is, gone for already early vacation. So, I mean, y'all down all the way down there stuff. So the latest on us is the 4-game series against the Padres. It was massive going in for both teams. Obviously, the Padres needed to win. They needed to take 2 from us in order to avoid elimination. So that game, I'm losing track of the days because, busy mind. But I want to say the second game in the series, that was the one where we had it tied up. It was 3-3, and then they hit the granny on us, took it 7-3, right in the with the next at bat, Soler. He ain't playing no games. So we end up, long Soler.
Solar flare?
You wish you had him. Maybe you wouldn't be in the basement.
That's the worst part. We're not even in the basement no more because the fucking Marlins are tanking now, and we're not even in last place anymore. I need y'all
can't even be
we
bad
can't even
right.
tank right.
You can't even be bad right. Oh my god! So that game was huge because we ended up pushing that to extras, and we've been notoriously bad this season at extras, but came out with the win on that one. Fantastic. So not only was that win huge for us as far as staying ahead of the Phillies, I think we were only 1 game ahead at that point before we got that dub. So that pushed us to 1.5, and it eliminated the Padres, which basically stole their heart for the next 2 games in the 4-game series. They were like, well, we ain't got shit to play for now. Cool, thank you. So we went ahead and finished that with a 3-1 split in our favor.
So long story short,
2.5. No, you're gonna get this. So we're now 2.5. We're 2.5.
I mean, the real question: you're gonna make the playoffs. You're gonna make the playoffs.
Oh, we're gonna clinch. We're gonna clinch. I want to tell you, I'm trying to build to the importance.
I know, but we only
today.
have so much time. We only have so much time.
So the importance of today, the series that starts today, the final series of the regular season for both us and the Phillies, 3-game series. We're 2.5. Yeah, we're 2.5 up, and we can absolutely
155. So there's 7 games left in the season, so they don't have to sweep.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
we're 2.5 up right now.
Yeah.
If we take one, if my math doesn't fail me, if we take one of this 3, that should be a wrap. Because we're 2.5 up.
Not mathematically. I mean, if you guys take 1 of 3, then they would be 1.5 back with 4 games to play. I mean, it's becoming very long.
Oh, they still have. I see what you said. They still have.
They still have.
We're exactly. Done. That's what my
no. Because no. You're still at 155. You have 7 games. Each team has 7 games left.
Wait, who am I missing here? Because I've been clocking this.
You have a whole nother series after this, my guy.
Hold on, my guy. Hold on, because I have been clocking this closely. Now, granted, I've been doing a lot as well and following my dogs also. Boy, I am on a. Well, when I tell you, I am on a streak.
My Terps are undefeated right now. So you can't tell. Yeah, exactly. You can't tell me shit right now because the real Tua, the real Tagliafico.
I can still tell you shit.
Quarterback.
Oh, we finished with the Mets.
Oh yeah, okay. Y'all got the division.
Yeah, this division is ours.
We tried to warn all those Mets fans what was going to happen.
We told them. Didn't we tell them in June? We say, go ahead and just have fun, man. Enjoy this moment
every year
because this is not how it's going to end. It's going to end poorly, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, man, we'll go ahead and clinch. Against the Phillies, and then our series against the Mets is just going to be whatever.
And then you. St. Louis.
No, man, listen. This is found.
Hold up.
I said,
are y'all going to play St. Louis? Are y'all going to play St. Louis in the first round?
I would love to. Oh,
that would be so.
I would love to. I'm here to exercise all kinds of fucking demons. I'm here. I don't listen. I'm not, and you know this of me. I don't run from it. I'm not like, oh well, they might have our number. No, I want them. I want the Dodgers. Yeah. Assuming the Dodgers, you know what I'm saying? Like I want revenge. You understand what I'm saying? Bring me the Cardinals.
Let me see real quick. How does it shake out? Because I don't even know what happens in the American League. I don't pay attention to that shit until the World Series.
I had to take the label off my soda because they ain't paying for the sponsorship.
I understand completely. But if they're interested, we would be more than willing.
If you're interested,
we'd be more than willing.
You guys with the 23 flavors in the crimson top that I'm not gonna say your name because you ain't paid for it yet. But get at us though. Get at us.
So it's St. Louis and the Dodgers in the wild card for the wild card game.
Out to be right now.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. That's beautiful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis and the Dodgers for the wild card, and then the winner of that game will play San Francisco. So y'all will start off against the Brewers and that pitching staff.
Shouts out to our Brewers fan.
Oh yeah.
Shouts out to our Brewers fan.
I have
apparently it's only one of you.
Yeah, I know exactly. Stadiums be empty as a motherfucker, but shit, he be on Twitter. So
apparently it's only one of you. But shouts out to our Brewers fan. I'm sure we'll hear from you on Twitter after this.
So lit if they beat y'all ass.
But it ain't gonna happen. But it ain't gonna happen.
I mean, they can't beat the Nats, but they can beat the Braves. So we'll see what happens.
Listen, I'm Super Saiyan 4 right now, man, because for a second consecutive weekend, however you want to spin it, Dogs, Braves, Cowboys, all coming off a win.
Did I mention that the Terps? Did I mention that the Terps are undefeated?
Listen, we're talking about teams that actually play sports.
Wait a minute.
We're talking about actual teams.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
The Terps have a more recent national championship than the Bulldogs, sir. Okay? In my lifetime, I've celebrated my college team winning the championship.
Line up.
All right?
Line up.
Line up in basketball.
No.
Line up in basketball.
No.
Exactly.
Listen, exactly. But we ain't been half bad in basketball.
No. But you haven't been half good.
But I will absolutely grant you that Maryland in basketball, more often than not, is perennially a team, that needs to people need to be concerned with.
At least consider.
You got to be at least concerned with.
But them. we host Iowa, my guy, on Friday night, and most likely all of my dreams are going to come crashing to a halt.
Yeah, quite likely.
But if they pull off that upset, pull off that upset on Friday night, bro, you ain't gonna be able to tell me shit. And actually, it will work out really well for y'all to get another top 5 team out of the undefeated ranks. So,
absolutely. That's why I was hoping.
So you'll be rooting for us.
I mean, I want all the top 10 teams that aren't us to lose. That's why I was hoping that.
I need you to say that though. I'll be rooting for Maryland.
No, I'm not
on Friday night.
I'll say this.
It'll feel good. It'll feel good.
It won't. I'll say this. Don't lose.
Oh wait, y'all play Arkansas? Yeah. Oh, this is a good weekend. Okay. Yeah. Let's go Hogs. Me and Jerry.
But I needed Georgia State.
Jerry Jones.
I needed Georgia State to finish their meal though against Clemson, and they didn't. I really needed that to happen, and it didn't. So
wait, I thought that was Auburn.
Was that Auburn?
Yeah, and Georgia State Auburn.
Georgia State Auburn. That's right. That's what.
Clemson
was NC State.
Clemson
was NC State. That felt great to see that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, sitting here at number 2 and not playing down the competition, that's my biggest thing with us. Play the same level of ball, no matter who you line up against. That's what Alabama does. That's what we're doing now. Absolutely.
Why are y'all playing at noon? Why would they play y'all at noon? Why y'all aren't in the prime time?
We just played. We played 11 a.m. my time, but we played in that slot last week on Saturday.
Damn, that sucks. They don't respect y'all. They don't think y'all really good if they don't put y'all at night games.
And I hope we play night games. Continue not to.
We play night games. So,
I hope they can. I mean, we started off with the night game. We had Clemson, right?
Every game we played. We even played Howard at night. We played Howard at night. We played.
Yeah, but consider the geographic area, right? I mean, it's not hard for any of those football teams to get prime time, but down here in the SEC.
Damn, y'all ain't got no respect.
In the SEC,
ain't got no respect.
It's hard to get them primetime games consecutive weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying. Now, that said,
this is a nice little slate of action.
I'm 2 weekends in of undefeated in 3 sports. I'm feeling good.
I understand. Juan Soto for MVP. All right, let's start the show.
Start that.
And he's the best player in baseball.
He's really not.
He really is.
No. He's quite literally really not.
Is. He's quite literally is.
So you mean to tell me?
Yeah. Come on.
No bias.
Come on with it.
No bias.
No biance.
Okay.
No biance.
No biance.
He's leading.
You're telling me
he's leading the majors. He's leading the majors.
Hold on.
Okay.
I just need you to answer the simple question. I'm going to put 4 players. I'm going to put 4 players. Listen. I'm going to put 4 players. Listen, Lux, relax, because you're about to get mooked. Okay.
All right. Okay.
You're about to get mooked. Dot on your head. Dot on your shit. They don't know about that, right? Listen, we put less than a handful of guys in front of you. So let's put Soto up there, because I want you to be clear. I do think that he is one of the best in baseball. All right. Okay. I objectively can admit that. The best. Let's put Soto on the table. Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and do the obvious. Let's put Acuna on the table. Let's put
Acuna's not playing.
But we're talking about in general, right?
He can't stay healthy.
Are you saying
he can't stay healthy?
Oh, what?
He's injury prone.
Oh, now
he's a fucking walking scarecrow.
Now you just
every single step
injury prone.
Every single step he takes, he gets hurt.
Injury prone. Holy shit!
Where is he right now? Is he playing?
Holy
is he part of this playoff?
Because he suffered a season-ending injury. He's now injury prone.
Has he ever played 162 games?
Is Dak Prescott injury prone? Is Dak Prescott injury prone?
We're talking about baseball.
One season-ending injury makes a guy injury prone.
Has he ever played 162 games? Has he ever?
Is that? I'm sorry. What?
Has he ever played 162 games?
That's bullshit, because last season there was not 162 games. So you FTG when it comes to you on that. Man, get out of here. You tried it though. Oh, you tried it.
No, Juan Soto leads the major leagues.
Acuna, Tatis.
He's better.
And
it's definitely not Tatis.
And Vlad. Tatis he's on the slump.
Defense. He plays shit defense.
Oh man.
If they put him in the outfield,
you didn't
he might
see
have
the series. You didn't see the series against us. He was looking quite shooketh Like he was making a couple throws that should have been routine and just sailed one way or another to first base. I'm just like, ooh, is this your king? But you know what?
Defense is not it.
But I will say this: what Vladdy's defense is not Excelsior.
Yeah, but Tatis is bad.
Like, I don't know that he's bad. He has range.
He has range. His arm is fluke.
You know whose defense? You know whose defense is elite, and his bat is elite. You know who's a true fiver?
Juan Soto.
Acuna. But you just finish enjoying Soto because he'll be in Atlanta soon.
Man, fuck you.
On that note, let's get the show started.
Apologize to all of y'all. Apologize to all of y'all.
Start singing in Janae Aiko voice. I'm triggered.
Let's go ahead and start the show, man. I ain't got time for you. We're going to have to put timestamps on all of our things so that people can fast forward baseball talk.
I won that one. You took the L because you got triggered. Let's do it.
What are you talking about? Juan Soto's the MVP.
No, I'm talking about it.
I'm not triggered.
You stopped with the facts. You just went straight for the expletive. You went straight for the expletive.
Because I cuss. That's what the fuck I do. I cuss. That does not measure any level of being triggered whatsoever.
Let's go, man. Your clock management is up there with McCarthy right now. Let's get this pre-roll in.
Third down.
Call timeout, man. Clock's running.
All right. You are now rocking with the best, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to another exciting, exhilarating episode of the Catch This Fade podcast. I am, of course, your host, KD Drummond. That is my man, $5 grand, the one and only Mr. Patrick No C Walker. Say what's up to the people, Pat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is now the conclusion of week 3 in the NFL. And guess what? Don't you look now, but those Cowboys are on a 2-game winning streak.
It's beautiful.
2-1 and are only 2 missed kicks away from being 3-0.
Listen, the Cowboys have
quite legitimate.
The Cowboys have established themselves as a team to contend with in the NFL. We're going to talk about that today. We have a great lineup. Let's go ahead and do our Catch This Fade thing. Let's run through the lineup. We're going to do a free show today. We're going to give people what they asked for. For those of you who subscribe, don't worry. You're still going to get the goods. Not everything will be free, but we are going to give people that do not subscribe yet a reason to subscribe by giving them the first half of the show for free. So we're going to take care of that. We're going to do a little bit of we're going to do a little bit of choose your fighter. Of course, we're going to hand out a couple fades, and then we're going to do some play the percentages. So all of our things are going to be here. And also don't forget a new segment that we're going to call Close Shave. So we're taking to the barbershop like we do every week. We have a great show in store to honor the Cowboys and their basically national televised coming out party that they had on Monday night. Of course, they defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 41-21 in front of defeated, mollywopped, dog walked, whatever you want to call it, put the foot on their race and they just took it to them at AT&T Stadium. I called it a house party. I did all of the allusions and references from the great Kid and Play movie from 1990. Go ahead, check that out on Cowboys Wire. Shameless plug. Oh, they know about the kick step. I promise you, they ain't know before. They know about it now.
Know about the kicks.
Go check that out on Cowboys Wire. Listen. Shireen! Listen. All right, so we're going to go
bumping the table.
We're going to go all the way back. But the first thing that we have to get into right now is going to be choose your fighter, because I really need to know this. I've been thinking we've been giving all these kudos and everybody is so in love with this Cowboys team, all the youthful players that are coming out of their shell and really establishing themselves. But here's a real question. We know that Mike McCarthy isn't in charge. I mean, he's kind of in charge. He's in charge of timeouts. He's in charge of, going for it on 4th down. He's in charge of those sorts of things.
Cojones.
But the true driving force that coordinates mushroom belt, mushroom lining, the true driving force are the coordinators.
Rest in peace to John Witherspoon.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Salute. Comic genius. Who is more important right now? Who is more in his bag right now? Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore or defensive coordinator Dan Quinn? Choose your fighter, Matt. Choose your fighter.
You know what? This is a difficult one. And I'm going to go with the higher hanging fruit here.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Dan Quinn. I think
from Dan Quinn. That's my guy. You're supposed to go with the other guy.
Okay, I'll go with the other guy.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I can argue it either way.
No. Make your point.
Which one you choose?
Your point. Make your point. Make your point. You stole my guy, but it's okay. Make your point.
I'm going with Kellen Moore. Here's why. Because Kellen Moore has proven himself. Well, first of all, he proved himself to be one of the better offensive minds in the NFL before 2021. And often, as you and I have discussed on Catch This Fade over the past few seasons, we talked about when it came to Kellen Moore, the biggest thing we needed to see was growth and being able to learn from mistakes that he's made in the past. We don't anticipate that he'll be perfect, but what you're seeing from him through these first 3 games is I can count on less than 4 fingers to my recollection, the number of plays that he's called on offense that I didn't like. We're 12 quarters in to the season, and we're talking about a maximum of 4 plays that I've seen that's made me sit back and say, yeah, that ain't
scratch
it.
Your chin. Yeah,
that ain't it.
Wonder what he was thinking. Yeah.
But every other one, if it didn't work, it wasn't the play call. It was the execution. Yeah. Or poor officiating. Yeah. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore is absolutely surgical in 2021. The way he's scheming it up, and one of the biggest things in the Jason Garrett era, as hard as a lot of people are on Jason Garrett, there were some things that he did well. And one thing that Jason Garrett did well was script plays. The first 15 to 20 plays of the game,
right,
did very well at scripting those. His problem was lack of adaptation. Kellen Moore, in conjunction, because let's not discount the importance of Dak Prescott's mental evolution as far as football IQ is concerned, and that chemistry between those two. But in conjunction with Dak Prescott's ability to read the defense and the trust that comes there from Kellen Moore to say, hey, I'm going to call this play, but if you see something you need to, change out of, do that. Kellen Moore is just absolutely decimating opposing offenses. On 1 week, he's looking at the soft spot and he's saying, what, we're going to attack the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the air because that run defense, that's not what we want, especially with Zach Martin. Now that's not what we want. You win that game if Zerline makes his kicks. Week 2, they say, you know what? This secondary and Nazir Adderley, you got Bosa waiting for the pass rush. You got Derwin James out there.
Asante Samuel
Jr. But that interior of that run of that defensive line is looking quite marshmallowy. Zach Martin is back. Terrence Steele is on the edge. We hope he does well, but let's not test it more than we have to. They start gashing in the run game. Tony Pollard / Ezekiel Elliott. And kudos again to Terrence Steele, had another really good week against Philadelphia Eagles.
With help, but yeah.
Yeah, he with help.
Yeah.
But still, he's holding his own.
Yeah.
Here we go, week 3. What did I tell you going into this? I said the Cowboys were going to hang their first 40 burger. Okay. I said that the Cowboys were going to launch an attack that the Eagles were not going to be able to deal with in both the air and on the ground. And I'll be damned. That's exactly, the Cowboys and Kellen Moore just basically had their way. And it was such a beautiful mix of win and the win and the where, right? So it was eloquent of how and when he chose to run the ball, who he chose to run it with, where he chose to run it with. And it was a chess game, right? Mm. If you go back and look at the game and you look at the film, it felt like the play you were watching in the moment was set up by the first 2 plays that preceded that play, right? And it's just constant adaptation. And you just have to love how you never know who's going to be the guy or guys in any particular week. Maybe it's Amari Cooper. Maybe it's CeeDee Lamb. Maybe it's a combination of the two. Right. Maybe it's Tony Pollard. Maybe it's Ezekiel Elliott. Maybe it's a combination of the two. Michael Gallup is not even on the field right now. And they're hanging 40 points.
Right.
Do you understand? So love Dan Quinn, and obviously I could have went that way, but I'll concede because I'm feeling charitable today. But I'm going with Pizza Boy. Pizza Boy has continued to deliver. He is not out there with the DiGiorno. He is coming with the deep dish to the front door. He's pulling up on your yard. However you want it, Kellen Moore has got it. And that's why I'm telling you, listen, my favorite GIF right now, or favorite meme right now for Kellen Moore is the one I posted online last week, and I reposted it again this week during the game against the Eagles. That GIF where it's like, you know what, no matter what Kellen Moore calls, it's "you son of a bitch, I'm in."
Yep.
That's just it. So Kellen Moore, that's it for me. That's my fighter.
I think that you made a very the best point that you made was about the fact of how he stacks from one play to another, how plays set up, what he wants to do later on in the drive, later on in the game.
Even if this play doesn't work, he called it for a reason.
Exactly. It's level
for 3 plays later.
That level of advanced gamesmanship is what sets him apart from what we've seen in the past. And it's all part of his evolution, because fans got to remember, Kellen Moore has not been doing this for very long. He's been drawing up plays on napkins, and he has a notebook the size of Pat's head full of offensive plays.
So it's luxurious. I dig it.
I was talking not. Okay.
Okay.
But
I dig it.
As you said, he's doing this without. I said this on Twitter. I said they put up a 40 burger, and there's no Michael Gallup. Amari Cooper is hurt. They're playing without La'el Collins, and he put up a 40 burger. Like, it's not easy to put up 40 points in the NFL, and he's doing it without all of his arsenal.
Right.
But on the flip side, Dan Quinn is doing it with nobody left compared to who you thought he was going to have. There's no DeMarcus Lawrence. There's no Tristan Hill. There's no Neville Gallimore. There's no Donovan Wilson. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Okay.
A little itty bitty joke.
You cleaned it up with Neville. But
it was a little itty bitty joke.
All right.
But there's no Tank. There's no Neville. There's no Donovan Wilson. There's no Kelvin Joseph. He's not getting the contribution out of Chauncey Golston before last night. He's not getting anything out of Nashawn Wright, who finally got some defensive snaps last night. Jabril Cox finally got some defensive snaps last night. In garbage time, they got 4 snaps each. He's doing this with guys that you just didn't expect. Then they had all of the COVID situation, no Keanu Neal. They had no Bradley and Nye. They were missing Randy Gregory for a game. No Carlos Watkins, no Dorrance Armstrong. And Dan Quinn has his defense buzzing. Now, is this defense immaculate? No. But look at where the defense came from. What we're seeing is these bursts of greatness out of this defense that just shows it intrigues you. It's provocative. It gets the people going. It's so exciting about what this defense can be. They have truly pieces of, and I said this last week, they are on the verge of having elite level players at every level of their defense. And that's the basis for having one of the top defenses in the NFL. Even more to the point, we saw the start of this last year, the end of the 2020 season. The Cowboys started getting turnovers. But what they're doing now, they're not just getting turnovers. Look at where these turnovers are occurring. They're getting turnovers in the shadow of their own end zone. They got the forced fumble when Tampa Bay was trying to score there at the end of the game. When Demonte Kazee popped it out and Jordan Lewis got it. Then they got the interception in the end zone against the Chargers. They're getting pick sixes. They get Jordan Lewis with the interception on the Hail Mary. These are plays that are directly either contradicting the offense getting points or turning into the points for the defense. These aren't your normal brand of turnovers. You get an interception when the opponent's on your 30-yard line and you're sitting there, that's just a new offensive drive. But when you're stopping them from scoring with your turnovers, when you're turning your turnovers into points directly, that's a whole different breed of thing. And that's what we're seeing out of Dan Quinn's defense. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know. Our good friend Bobby Belt was talking about he thinks that Dan Quinn is going to end up being a head coach next year. I don't know if that's true or not. I saw you disagree with him. I saw you disagree with him. You think that Dan Quinn is going to be here at least for a year or two, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he jumps right back into the head coaching thing. I think he still has some PTSD a little bit from the Falcons thing, and he's back to having fun again.
Right, exactly. He's back in his element. He's back in his bag. As our good friend, our production guy, Skywalker said, he's in his duffel. The things that he was doing with the lineup when the play that still showed where it was Osa on the outside, Randy on the inside, doing a mug, and then there was Jalen and Micah, and then the outside with Terrell Basham, and there was 4 guys standing on the line with Osa being the only guy with his hand down, and he's outside on the outside shoulder, the left tackle. It's beautiful to watch what he's doing with all of these players. So for me, I love Pizza Boy. I love him to death. I said it up. I say it throughout every game. I'm just amazed at the creativity that he shows. We had Connor fucking McGovern at the fullback.
As fullback.
What the hell was that?
That was effective.
Oh my God, that was so beautiful.
It wasn't a gimmick.
Used it multiple times. Yeah, used it multiple times. And he was bulldozing guys.
It was working.
But I have to give the nod to Dan Quinn because we have been so starved for a quality defensive effort from this team for so long that I'm just, the newness of it to me is just so immaculate. I can't help but feel like right now he is more important. I think even without Kellen Moore, the Cowboys offense could be great. He's taken it to a level. I'm not shortchanging him in any kind of way. But I think based on the talent that Dallas has, a lot of coordinators could do justice to that talent.
They'd be good. They wouldn't be great.
What Dan Quinn is doing with a fucking mass unit right now is incredible. A mass unit and young players who really don't know right from left right now. Imagine what he can do when these guys get experience under their belt.
And he figures out who needs to be starting opposite Trevon Diggs.
Well,
right. We'll get to that also. But and to your point, bunch of valid points, and obviously I don't disagree with Dan because you can't go wrong either way with either of these fighters. You can't go wrong, right? It's like Ken versus Ryu. Pick your flavor, but you didn't pick wrong.
How you do, Ken?
Right. But also keep in mind, quiet as it's kept, the Eagles scored 21 yesterday. But 7 belonged to the defense.
Right, exactly. 14
and
14 on
7
offense,
and another 7 was garbage time.
Exactly. Yep.
So technically, Dan Quinn's defense, his mass unit, only gave up 7 points.
Yep, pretty much. That's why I have to give the credit to him. Both coordinators are doing outstanding. They're overcoming the end of the half stuff that Mike McCarthy is doing. But again, I'm not slamming Mike McCarthy. I'm not going to fade him. I hope I'm not stealing your fade. I'm
not going to fade him just because of the fourth.
It was a third down.
The
third down was the issue. I wasn't even really. The fourth down was just compounding the issue when they didn't call a timeout after the fourth down because that was more explainable. Not calling a timeout after third down just didn't make any sense.
No, what I'm saying is none of that makes sense. I'm saying I forgave him because he did what we wanted to do when he went for it.
My eyes are up here. Stop looking at the big balls. My eyes are up here. Oh my God!
Listen, the gray sweatpants. That's
how.
Unhand me, ladies.
That's how you put the nail in the coffin of the opposing team.
Exactly what I said.
That is a killer instinct that you have to have.
Somebody on Twitter was like, "Oh, well, it's only because it was a good play because it worked." How many times?
It's not the result.
How many times do we have to explain this?
Oh my God!
A good versus a bad play. Good play versus a bad play is not dictated by the outcome of the play. It's dictated by several things: situational football, execution, et cetera, but the play in and of itself in a vacuum,
right,
is not good or bad. Now, on that situation, what was it, 4th and 2?
Yeah,
and the Eagles were trying to build momentum.
Yep, they had
go forward. What's the worst that happens, right? The worst that happens is barring a pick 6, right? The worst that happens, you're right. The worst that happens is you got them pinned against their own end zone.
Yep.
Best case, you get the points and absolutely break their spirit.
Which it did. Game was over.
Jason Garrett would have kicked the field goal.
Of course. That 16-point lead. The mentality of 16-point lead. Good, they got to score twice and 2-point conversions.
Right. And then what would have happened? They probably would have ended up scoring twice. Because because the defense would have given up the goal, but because you left belief.
You knew
your opponent.
You neutered the confidence in your team. And this is a point that I made about that I explained to you about why he went for the 60-yard field goal against Tampa Bay at the end of the half, despite the fact that Zerline had missed those kicks. Mike McCarthy's fundamental belief is to instill confidence in your team. It's why they went for it, despite the fact that the season was over so many times last year. He wants the team to believe that at every single moment, I have the utmost confidence that you will come through when I ask you to come through. And this is just more of the same. So while we joke about his clock management, which is abysmal. That being a reason why we don't want to have
that'll lose you a
comeback.
playoff game. So if you're going to make the mistakes, make them in September and get that shit out the way.
But for now, the most important thing that he's doing is instilling the confidence in his team that he believes in them, in every single member of that team, and he will go for it, and he will do everything in order to be aggressive and make sure, as long as it's not foolhardy, as long as it's not something that's going to cost him the game, he believes in them being able to execute when it comes down to. And the situation they were in, they had just, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott were not in sync. There were 2 straight plays where Dak failed to motion Elliott back in the backfield. He turned a hand off the ball, and
you saw him point at Elliott and kind of chuckle like, "Okay, that was
my bad." But then they messed up the next play,
right?
And Elliott was running to the flat, and he was looking for Elliott again.
And I still said go for it on 4th because it was the right thing to do.
Exactly. And
shouts out to Cedric Wilson. Put some respect on my guy's name.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how many ways to continue telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying this for months, seasons now. I said that when Seti got healthy, he was going to be a low-key problem, and that's what he has become. So shouts out to Cedric Wilson. Yes, great play for Dak Prescott to extend that, getting out of the pocket, buying some time, directing traffic. But to get that catch and get those toes in a situation like that, pressure-packed, burying a division rival at home, absolutely. That broke the Eagles into pieces, and they never recovered from there. And the Cowboys just let them get some garbage time yards and, on the way out, and bye-bye. So great job. I'm with you on Quinn, but I'm also with me on Moore. Like I said, it's Ken versus Ryu. No matter who you pick in that fight, it's not a bad decision. So
not everything was beautiful last night. The Cowboys started off like gangbusters. They just handed it to the Eagles on the opening drive, and then they ended up getting the interception, and it felt kind of like the tide could have turned. All game long, I had the concern like, shit, this is going to be another Santana Moss game. And if you remember the Monday night game where the Cowboys dominated the entire game and then gave up the bag in the 4th quarter and everybody left just miserable, I had a sinking feeling throughout the game because it just felt too good to be true how good they were playing. And I'm one of those guys. I'm just, I always do the glass half empty, pessimistic type of thing just to protect myself. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Okay, buddy.
So I have to make sure that I protect my well-being. When the Cowboys got the interception, when Anthony Brown got the interception and he landed at the 1-yard line, I was like, shit, backed up. And then they had the beautiful play call by Kellen Moore, quarterback sneak right up the middle, get yourself out of the goal line. And then shit went all bad, which brings me to my first fate. I predicted this dude to be the surprise player for the team. When we were in the offseason, I was saying, who is my surprise guy that's going to bubble up, potentially be a surprise Pro Bowl player? I picked Tyler Badass.
And I'm with you on that.
So when I say this, I'm not trying to brag for being right in the past. It's more about just coming full circle. Because last year, when the Cowboys offensive line was in disarray and we were questioning pretty much everything that Joe Philbin was doing, playing Terrence Steele, look where that experience has gotten us, playing Joe Looney when Tyler Badass got healthy, we questioned that to no end. But I said something that was important and unfortunately is coming to fruition. What if there is something that they're seeing that is showing them this guy just isn't it? And so far through 3 games of the season, this guy isn't it. Yes, they've played quality defensive tackles, not taking anything away from Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, and Dominican Sue.
It's
Vita Vea. I understand.
Look at these names you're dropping.
I understand that.
My God.
However, Tyler Badass is fucking bad. He has to catch this fade because he is religiously getting fucking bludgeoned out there. I don't know if there's any recourse for the Cowboys, but right now, homeboy is sitting in the front chair in the barbershop for the old guy that has Coke bottle glasses that you don't even want working with a fucking clipper. You want him sitting there with a comb and a fucking scissor.
The front chair, the front seat.
The front chair. That's where he's sitting right now. He's catching this entire fade because his play, I don't even blame, like Connor Williams wasn't good, but I don't even blame him nearly to the extent that I'm blaming Tyler Biadasz for the play that he had last night and for what I've seen so far in this season. The Cowboys absolutely cannot afford to have Dak Prescott under pressure up the middle on a consistent basis for this season. I don't know whether or not he's choosing not to run. I don't know whether or not he's less mobile. I don't think any of that is the case. Honestly, I don't think any of that's the case. But what we cannot have is pressure up the middle on a consistent basis. And I am worried, based on what we've seen these first 3 weeks, that is going to be the case. Because although these guys that they're playing are elite, they are not going to be the last elite defensive tackles the Cowboys face this year.
That is true.
So they have to figure something out. You can't. He has Zach Martin next to him. How do you look bad with Zach Martin next to you? Like, what the fuck, my guy? Come on, bro. You got to do better than that. So just because we need to fade somebody, and I don't want to sit here with Cowboys colored glasses on, Tyler Biadasz got to catch this fade.
I don't disagree that he is struggling because that is evident. I don't know that I would use the B word. I don't know if I would call him bad. I would just say he's struggling. I've seen better from him, and as have you. He's just in a bad space right now mentally. I'll say that. Now, I if I had to put my finger on any one particular thing, I would like for him to get his weight up. Like I would like for him to increase his strength. I think if he increases his strength, you will see a rapid improvement against some of those stronger guys like your Vita Veas and your Fletcher Coxes. And I think that will solve itself if he puts a couple more slabs on the clank, right? So, but I get it. I get it. My fade isn't even to the Cowboys. It's not to the Eagles. It's not to Mike McCarthy or Nick Sirianni in that corny ass beat Dallas shirt. How'd that turn out for you, bro? It's to the officials. Listen, and listen some more. I find it difficult to fathom. This is a multi-billion-dollar operation that also has a development program for officials. Okay. You also more or less have a whole farm system called the NCAA. You use it for players. Okay. Why are you not using that from an officiating standpoint? To see the egregiousness, the occupational malpractice, for lack of a better way to put it, and not just in Cowboys games, in every game, every week so far, right. And it's not getting any better. Having to witness Dak Prescott get a touchdown on a quarterback sneak, and the ball wasn't the only thing that crossed the plane. His whole upper body crossed the plane. Go back and look at that. He scored twice.
Yes.
Before they blew the whistle.
He scored and then he fucking poked the ball out.
Right. And not only in real time, because in real time it was obvious, but not only did they fail the call in real time, they upheld
on a review.
Trash. The failed call.
Assholes.
Now, Cowboys went on to bounce back, won the game 41-21, but we have seen instances where these are the kinds of games where that call helps cost the Cowboys a victory.
Yep.
Cowboys had during the Cowboys game against the Buccaneers, there was at least one controversial call and a controversial non-call. Non-call being the OPI that wasn't called on Chris Godwin that helped put the Buccaneers in field goal position for the game-winning field goal by Succop, right? Happened again, not that particular one, but questionable officiating in week 2. Here we are in week 3. And again, it's getting worse. And when you look at it from around the league, so for those that may or may not be Cowboys fans and you're still subscribed to Catch This Fade, love you to death. You might be saying to yourself, well, no, see, you're really looking at this through Cowboys beer garden. No. I I cover the entire 32, right? Cowboys insider, Cowboys correspondent for CBS Sports, but I also assist in covering and analyzing the other 31 teams, which means I watch every single NFL game every single week of the regular season and the postseason. And I'm telling you, this is not exclusive to what's happening to Dallas. It's happening around the league. So NFL, I recognize that the officials have a union. I'm for unionization. I'm all for that. I'm also for accountability. I'm 100% for accountability. Right. And the NFL has lost a couple of battles with the officiating union, right? Replacement refs. Let's not forget the Seattle Green Bay game. Was it not? Who, did he score? One is waving it off. The other is saying, okay, right. But there has to be some kind of recompense when you see egregious calls that are also failed upon review, right? We need transparency as both fans of the game and as analysts of the game. We need to know what is the report card, what is the grading system for these refs, and if a particular ref grades out so poorly, we know they get fewer rotations and things like that. But if their blown call or bad call costs the team a game, and these games matter. We're talking about playoff seeding and stuff like this. Where's the financial ramifications, right?
Right.
You suspend players all the time. You suspend coaches and et cetera, et cetera. Why? I get it, but players are in the union too when they get suspended for making bad decisions on the field, right? You know what I mean? So I just, oh man, I can't express my level of exasperation and exhaustion with constantly watching the NFL officiating crews week to week around the league just blow it.
You know what I say,
and I don't expect them to be perfect. I don't. They're humans. I get it. I don't expect them to be perfect, right? KD is the one who wants the robotic strike zone, right? I'm not expecting them to be perfect. Right, I'm not calling for a robotic strike zone, similar type thing in the NFL. I'm not calling for cyborgs to run.
Oh, but they need to put the chip in the ball. Right, I'm not with this fucking chain measurement shit.
You could easily do that.
Put the chip in the ball,
right, and laser measure all of this. I mean, that's just easy technology.
2021.
That's easy tech there. But I'm not calling
chips in us with a vaccine. You put a chip in the ball.
Listen, I'm not calling for cyborgs to run up and down the sideline officiating the game. It's not what I'm calling for. I'm simply calling for accountability. The replay system is put into play to help minimize the chances that the refs become the headline of the game. But too often they're still the headline.
Here's what you're missing. They want it like this.
The human
element allows, and I'm putting my tinfoil hat on right now. The human element allows for the NFL to keep games interesting. And what we saw with that replay was the referees trying to keep the game interesting. It was obvious to everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, every mom and pop shop, every fucking bar around the world knew the Cowboys were beating the brakes off the Eagles in that game.
That was a touchdown on every planet.
Everybody knew. And the only way that they could extend people staying tuned to their television outside of Cowboys fans and Cowboys hatred was to try to keep the game close for a little bit longer. So when they have the opportunity to make a call that extends the competitive nature of the game, if it's not blatant, if they have an out, they tend to make the call that keeps the game interesting. I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes.
You know how that makes me feel to even imagine that could be a possibility. I feel like that AC Slater gif where he's coming down the stairs, he's like doom doom doom, stupid. That's how I feel. So long story short, NFL and NFL officiating crews, get your shit together. This is not why we're tuning in. We're tuning in to watch players try to outplay other players. We're tuning in to watch coaches try to out-coach other coaches. We're tuning in to see the best team leave with a win and the worst team leave with an L. We do not tune in to watch games dictated by one or two egregious calls. So For me, the fade, the entire fade, the whole fade, the kid high top fade goes to NFL officials.
House party.
Yeah, goes to NFL officials.
I want to turn our attention to our pet cats over the last couple seasons.
Boy, my hive is thriving. I got a few of them.
I understand. These two are very near and dear to our hearts. And I want to talk about what this current, we're going to try to project what the current season, the 3 games that we've played, the 3 things that we've seen, projected to future seasons. And I want to talk about our guys, Michael Gallup and Dalton Schultz. And I want to get into the nitty gritty and play the percentages segment, but I can't do it right now because we have to end our free show. If you are interested in play the percentages, if you're interested in the close shave segment, when we talk about this secondary, you're going to have to subscribe. We do appreciate you tuning in on YouTube or listening on whatever podcast catcher that you tend to listen to your podcast on, but you now need to go to patreon.com/catchthisfade to subscribe. It's very easy. If your audio, it's a $3 per month commitment. If your video, it's a $10 per month commitment. And you also have the option of being an annual subscriber where you get a discount on each of the 2 different tiers. I promise you, what we do on a regular basis here is not anything that you're going to find anywhere else. You're only seeing the free show. If you subscribe to the video, you get the pre-roll, which is me and Pat just kicking it, talking trash to each other, doing what we do. There are many Cowboys analysts out there that give you quality coverage. Nobody does it like we do here on Catch This Fade. So I promise you, I'll even dare you. Go ahead and subscribe just for
double dog dare you?
Double dog dare. Subscribe for 1 month.
Physical challenge?
See if you like it. And see if you like it. I'm talking about green slime, water pouring on the head, all of that shit. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Patreon.com/catchthisfade. Go subscribe to get the rest of this episode and all future episodes. I promise you, you'll love it. We'll be right back for those of you already subscribing.